If you were to come over to my house, there is a 99% chance that my little sister would tell you the story of the goat. In my family, there's this rather infamous story. The story of the goat. I was 9 years old. My little sister was 2 years old, and at the time, me and my family went onto a vacation. The entire vacation was very fun, and we all had a great time until the day we had to go to the children's petting zoo. In there were some animals roaming free, like chicken, cows, and goats. So my little sister, 2 years old, very tiny at the time, I was like, because I was her big brother, and I was like, you know what? Don't worry, Dominique. I will protect you. Do not worry. Do not fear. 'Cause I'm here. And that rhymes. So we walked in, there was this machine where you can get some animal food, which you could get into your hand. You could like, hey, here animals, here, take some food. Here, you'll love this. Basically, my mom got some of that food for my little sister. I didn't really need anything, so she had some, and she was feeding the animals. And then up to her came a baby goat. Very adorable, very small, but since she was 2, she was about eye level with the baby goat. My mom was talking to someone like all the way over there, and me and my sister were there, and I turned around and I turned back at her, only to see that the goat was standing up against her with his front legs on her chest, like making eye level, like this close to her face, because he wanted the food. So she was, oh, what the heck was that? Maleven! Ah! So there she was, backed into a corner between 2 fences, and the goat was standing against her. She already tossed the food, but the goat wanted more. So I did what any brave older brother would do. Mom! I ran off, ran to our mom, and was like, Mom! Dominique, and there's a goat, and oh my god, it's standing against her, you have to help us! So together, we ran back, only to see Dominique not in the corner with one goat against her, but a whole flock of goats. All of the goats in the petting zoo went up to her, even though she didn't even have any more food, and they were standing up to her, like, ganged her up into this corner, and they were like, meh, meh, and she was like, help! So my mom just went there, and she brushed the goats aside, like, hey, go that way, go that way. She was like, it's alright, baby, it's alright. And they were both like, why didn't you help her? Why didn't you help her? And I was like, goats are pretty creepy. I mean, I was 9. But basically, my sister tells that story to everyone who I know who visits this house. I know that if there one day is an apocalypse and they're like monsters or aliens or anything super evil attacking the earth, taking over the entire humankind, and I save the entire planet, when I'm being awarded for this by all of the world leaders, my sister will come up on the stage and say, well, he didn't help me with that goat. Because she always tells the story of the goat, no matter how long it was ago. But that's not actually my only animal chase related story. I think at the same age, or maybe we were a little younger or older or anything, me and my 2 cousins, who are roughly the same age as I am, went to a maze, which I would say is rather amazing. We were going there, and I had a sandwich with cheese. I still remember it was a sandwich with cheese. And there were some peacocks just walking around there, because for some reason there were peacocks. I don't know if they were wild. Do wild peacocks exist in my country? Where do peacocks come from? Hey Siri, where do peacocks come from? Thank you for saying my address out loud. That's something I definitely have to cut out. Not useful at all. Anyway, there were some peacocks just roaming around, and they looked at us, and I had the sandwich, and apparently they like bread. But anyway, they started to come like a little closer. We were like, these peacocks are getting pretty close, and they got a little closer. We were like, what are they doing? There were 3 of them. There were 3 of us and 3 peacocks, and we were like, and we started running, and the peacocks chased us, and we ran through like the part next to the maze in like this park, and we were like, help! And the peacocks were like, and they came after us, and we were like, no, because I was like running in the middle. My youngest cousin was in the back because she was, the youngest, so she didn't run very fast at the time, and my oldest cousin was in the front, and we were like, help! And I was like, oh, they won the sandwich, but I didn't want to toss my sandwich because it was my sandwich. What would you have done? So we were running, and in the end we ran somewhere behind some walls, and the peacocks just left us alone. So later on we were like, okay, we went into the maze and all of that, and after a couple of hours, because it was a big maze, we got out, and guess who were standing there by the entrance? The 3 peacocks. So now you know the truth. After all of these years, these evil peacock gang is still looking for me. But that's the thing, I am so well hidden, there is no way they can find me. They can... What? No. No! Wow! Hey all, LightFeather here. Thank you so much for watching this new story time video. Please comment down below, have you ever had any of these experiences with animals and what were they like? And if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to this channel. I post something to get to know each other a little bit better like this on Saturday, and on Wednesday I post something to solely entertain you, such as a comedy sketch. All of that to let people know that it's awesome and okay to be yourself and to be unique, and you shouldn't let anyone change who you are because you are perfect the way you are. But above all, I really hope you like this video, and like I always say, just be unique, you're awesome the way you are.